What's up? I'm Sylvan, and welcome back to the channel, or for the first time if you're new. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Firefly's Myriad Celestia trailer. I am so excited to see this. I've seen, like, a couple screenshots of this, and I am so hyped. I can't wait to see what's in this, and I'm also just incredibly excited to finally get Firefly. Hopefully I'll be able to get her, but with that, let's just get straight into it. Ooh.
Command, this is AR-26710. Please respond.
Oh, subtitles.
I don't think they'll respond.
Yes!
We do. We're the only survivors around. No matter what, we have to get in touch with the others. Huh?
If that's the case, it'll be faster this way, right?
Hey, you.
I understand. Article 4 of Glamoth's military regulations. Leaving the cockpit is strictly prohibited. This way, we'll be discovered very quickly.
Huh.
Even though we'll be punished. That can't be helped.
Interesting.
How many times is this for you now? Leaving the cockpit like this.
This is a... Oh boy.
Article 2 of Glamoth's military regulations. Remain on guard.
Oh my god.
Article 4. Leaving the cockpit is strictly prohibited. Do you have a death wish?
A Firefly Type 5 personal escort model. Very nice.
God, they're just giving us so many character designs.
Now. You can't connect to command either. Why don't you join us?
No thanks. I'll just pretend I didn't see anything.
What's this? I picked it up on the battlefield. It seems to be a civilian device. Even though it's no longer working. And the lens is scratched. If you look through the lens, it feels like looking at a whole different world.
Oh, this is wild to see.
No wonder you wear those weird goggles.
I have other reasons too. If everyone looked the same, how would we tell each other apart? Your hair is very unique. Thank you. I've been growing it out. The length is also proof of your experience. But sometimes it gets in my eyes. I'm not sure if I should put it up. Your turn. Are you really not going to say anything?
Comms are back up. Article 8. Surviving knights should immediately return to their units.
Aww.
Looks nice. It really suits you.
I hope we can see stars on the next battlefield. Will we see each other again? Probably not. What if the war ends? Then we should be able to find each other.
What should I say? I wish us all a triumphant return.
This is like a whole-ass mech anime that we're just getting a glimpse into. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay. Well, shit. I'm sorry for not talking much through that, but, oh, I was just amazed. Absolutely love this. Just gonna let it play again and just more talk through my thoughts again. I like all of the things with, like, fireflies and stuff. I'm really curious what kind of creature that is. Because I don't... Is that the swarm?
I don't think they'll respond.
And I love all the different, like, mech designs.
We're the only survivors around.
I would absolutely
No matter what,
love
we have to get in touch with the others.
to learn if these
If
are
that's
other
the case,
potential characters for the
We'll
future.
be faster this way, right?
Hey, you.
Because, like, we know
I understand.
that
Article
Toyoverse
4 of
has
Glamoth's
done
military
some bullshit
regulations.
with giving us whole
Leaving
character
the
designs and then
colony
never
strictly
giving them
limited.
to us as characters.
This way, we'll be discovered very quickly.
But
Even though we'll be punished.
I want more mech
That
characters.
can't be helped.
I
How many times is this for you now?
yeah, no, this is just great. Just like a little glimpse,
Leaving the cockpit like
a
this.
small little glimpse into what Firefly's life was, I guess, before joining the Stellaron Hunters. I mean, come on, even if they're not characters at some point, we need to see more mech people like this at some point. We need to.
Do you have a
I don't know, this
wish?
might be just more cope.
A Firefly Type 5 personal escort model.
Maybe.
Very nice.
Hopefully. The one unfortunate thing is because they're all like Firefly
odd
type
one out
models
now.
or whatever,
You can't
Of
connect
mechs?
to command either.
it's entirely
Why
possible
don't
we
you
won't
join us?
get more of them.
Thanks. I'll
Just
pretend
by the
I didn't
fact.
see anything.
That Firefly is called Firefly, and it would be
What's this?
redundant on that front.
I
But
picked it up on the battlefield.
yeah,
It
I
seems
don't
to be
know.
a civilian device. Even though it's no longer working. And the lens is scratched. If you look through the lens, it feels like looking at a whole different world.
I love all of these little
Lens?
implications
No wonder you wear those weird goggles.
to
I have other
just sort of
reasons, too.
the way that
Everyone looked the same.
these soldiers
How would we
live.
tell each other apart? Your hair is very unique. Thank you.
Because
I've been growing
from my
up.
understanding of things, they were
The length is
effectively
also proof of your
bioengineered to be
experience.
soldiers, correct?
But
Which,
sometimes it gets in my eyes.
I mean, I might be wrong, but
I'm
if
not
that's
sure
the
if I
case,
should put it up. Your turn.
there's all
Are
these
you
little
really not
things
going
that
to
very
say
much
anything?
fall in line with, funnily enough,
Comms are
things
back up.
like Star Wars with the
Article
clones,
8,
and how, like,
surviving
they try to
nights
differentiate
immediately
each
return to their
other,
units.
despite being essentially just faceless soldiers to the people in charge a lot of the time. I just love, like, these little bits
Looks nice.
of
Really suits you.
personalization to each
I
of them.
hope we can see stars on the next battlefield. Will we see each other again?
Is it wrong for me to
Probably
want
not.
some kind of,
What
like,
if the
anime
war
or
ends?
something
Then we should
that is
be able
just
to find each
of
other.
this? Like, I want a war anime, like a mecha anime, basically, about Firefly's
should I say?
time
I
in,
wish us all a triumphant
like,
return.
as a Glamoth soldier. Oh, God. I mentioned it, I think, but I love all of the little things with the Fireflies connecting to Firefly, sort of taking on the
Can't
name
connect to
Firefly.
command either. I picked it up on the battlefield. It's no longer
It's really
working.
interesting,
Look through the lens.
because
No wonder.
I
even
have
with
other
this,
reasons too.
even with this, we don't necessarily know Firefly's reason for taking Firefly as her name. Perhaps that's just her way of sort of acknowledging her past, but I don't know. I'm really curious to get her as a character so I can go through her voice lines and story and stuff to get a better sense of what her feelings on her time as a Glamoth Knight is. Because, I mean, this certainly paints a picture, but she doesn't seem to be necessarily rebelling right now against being a soldier. She just is sort of stretching the rules alongside this other knight. And yeah, no, I'm just really curious about that. And alongside that, I find it really interesting how she made her headband out of effectively a torn bit of a war banner, essentially, from a battlefield she fought in. which is just really interesting to me as, like, another thing of, that's another memento she's carrying from this time. Like, it's very clear that this period of time is very important to her past and to her as a person. But whether or not she considers it a good or bad memory or time or whatever, or if it's just more complicated than that, I'm very curious to learn. And I actually really like the introduction of this other night basically being some form of an impetus towards Firefly differentiating herself a bit more. Because from the sounds of it, based on one of the lines earlier here, she's wearing glasses less so because she needs them and more because it differentiates her, if that's how I'm understanding these lines. And she gives the reasoning that if everyone looked the same, how would we tell each other apart? And the idea that she is acknowledging the differences between each of them, that they are their own people, even if those commanding them don't see them that way. Which I really like, and I like how, after pointing out Firefly's long hair, and sort of complimenting it and acknowledging her individuality through that, she decides to sort of do something else to both solve the issue of her hair getting in her eyes, as well as just differentiating herself, giving herself something else to be identified by. And, you know, I really like all of these characters, actually. They have really strong bits of characterization throughout them. Clearly, we have the one with glasses being the one who's most willing to stretch the rules and sort of defy the idea that they are all not individuals, but rather express how they are unique and how each of them is different. And then we have Firefly, who just sort of follows along with that and is like, yeah, no, well, this will definitely get their attention, but we'll get in trouble, so, you know, whatever. And then the last one here is less willing to do so, but then once the fourth one arrives, clearly decides, why not? Take this moment, not like anything else is going to go wrong here. Clearly, basically, assessing that the fourth one isn't gonna just call them out on this. Or at least trusting that they won't, or just not worrying about the consequences. But clearly was waiting for whatever reason, even if it was just indecision. And then, I love how, even when prompted, the fourth one doesn't want to leave their armor. But once those three have left, and they're alone, then they take the opportunity. And I don't necessarily know why they waited, but what immediately comes to mind as the idea for me is they were acknowledging earlier, like, you guys could get in serious trouble for doing this, but I won't tell anyone. So maybe she just isn't necessarily trusting enough in the other three to be confident that they wouldn't tell on her. I don't know, maybe that's that, maybe it's something else, maybe it's just she, seeing them do it, did very much want to, but felt that if she did it in front of others, it would be breaching the code or whatever. But if that she, in this moment alone, where nobody was watching her, she did it, that it would be fine. I don't know. Either way, I love it. And I just love how how much of just a snippet of history this is, and just a glance into the lives of 4 soldiers who just sort of take a moment to acknowledge after a battle that they are people and they are different. It's really cool. I like it a lot. Hi, this is Editing Sylvan, and I just wanted to pop in because one other thing I was realizing that I wanted to make note of is the glowing cracking stuff that is on the faces of all of the knights, because it's something that we've seen on Firefly since pretty much we first saw her exit her transformation from Sam, but we, as far as I know, haven't had a real explanation of it. So seeing it again here on some of the others is really interesting to me. It sort of leads me to theorize what it might be, because looking through the video, we see it briefly on Firefly when she exits out of her form, and then we see a tiny bit of it from the other knight when she exits, and as I had it at the end here, there's a lot of it on the face of the 4th one. And then I think there's a tiny bit that we can see here from the 3rd one. But for all of them, it fades fairly quickly, except for the last one. For the last one, it sticks around for all of the time we see her, which is interesting to me, as it makes me think that maybe it has something to do with being in their mech form for a long time or something. Like, for the other 3, they clearly are more open to just exiting their mechs whenever they feel like or whatever. Or at least more than they should be, technically. Where the 4th one here was very clearly more by the book in every way. So maybe by having not left the cockpit for a really long time, it remains longer or something, and it's just like a side effect or something. I don't know, I just felt like mentioning that while I was editing, it came to mind. So, yeah, back to the video. Yeah. I mean, I think that's just about it for me, though. I would love to learn more about all of these people. And I really hope that, at the very least, we can learn a bit more about all of this period of time through Firefly once she comes out. So, yeah. I mean, I guess I'll leave it there. I can't wait for her demo, and from what I understand, we're getting an animated thing for her as well, so I'm really excited for those. And, yeah. If you liked this trailer or this video, let me know in the comments, and feel free to like, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next. I'm working on a lot of things right now. But yeah, so I hope you all have a great day, and goodbye.